Hello, science fans! Welcome to a journey through one of the most fascinating and vital waterways in North America. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of the Colorado River, a true giant of the American West, whose waters have shaped both the land and the lives of millions. For millions of years, this mighty river has carved the awe-inspiring Grand Canyon, sculpting deep gorges and dramatic landscapes. It travels an astonishing 1,450 miles, beginning high in the snow-capped Rocky Mountains and winding its way all the way down to the Gulf of California in Mexico. The Colorado River is truly the lifeblood of the Southwest, delivering precious water to nearly 40 million people across 7 U.S. states and parts of Mexico. Its waters are channeled through a vast network of pipelines and canals, reaching cities, farms, and communities that would otherwise be parched. Major cities like Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Los Angeles depend on the Colorado for both water and electricity. Massive engineering marvels such as the Hoover Dam and Glen Canyon Dam harness the river's power, providing energy and stability to the region. But the river is more than just a resource for people. It sustains a vibrant and delicate ecosystem, home to unique fish found nowhere else, migratory birds that rest along its banks, and lush plant life that thrives in the desert thanks to its steady flow. Yet, despite its importance, the Colorado River is now facing a crisis unlike any before. Water levels are dropping at an alarming rate, and the river is showing unmistakable signs of serious stress. Drought, overuse, and climate change are all taking a heavy toll. Scientists and researchers are stunned by how quickly these changes are happening. They're racing to understand the causes and find solutions before it's too late. The future of millions of people and countless species of wildlife now hangs in the balance. Every drop of water is more precious than ever before. This isn't just a local issue. The fate of the Colorado River is a critical scientific and environmental challenge for the entire American West, with ripple effects that reach far beyond its banks. So, what exactly is happening to this mighty river? Why is it under such threat, and what can be done to save it? Let's put on our thinking caps, dig into the science, and explore the challenges and possible solutions together. The story of the Colorado River is, at its heart, the story of survival in the desert, a tale of adaptation, ingenuity, and resilience. And right now, that story is at a dramatic turning point. The choices we make today will shape the future of the river, the land, and the people who depend on it for generations to come. So, what's happening to the Colorado River? Why is one of America's most important rivers in such deep trouble, and what does it mean for the millions who depend on it? Imagine the Colorado River as a giant bathtub. For decades, every spring, snowmelt from the Rocky Mountains poured in, refilling it as quickly as people, farms, and nature drained it away. The river was a lifeline, supporting cities, agriculture, and wildlife across the Southwest. But now, it's as if the faucet is barely dripping, while the drain is wide open. The riverbed is exposed in places that once teemed with water, and the flow is a mere shadow of what it used to be. The river's flow has plummeted, and its two massive reservoirs, Lake Mead and Lake Powell, are at their lowest levels since they were first filled. These lakes, once symbols of abundance, now reveal the stark reality of scarcity. This crisis is the result of more than 20 years of relentless megadrought, the most severe in at least 1,000 years. The land is parched, and the river's banks are cracked and dry. The bathtub rings on the rocks, those white mineral lines, mark where water once reached. Each ring is a reminder of how much water has vanished, year after year. For most of the 20th century, the Colorado River delivered an average of 15 million acre-feet of water each year. That was enough to meet the needs of booming cities, vast farmlands, and natural ecosystems. Today, the river often carries less than 12 million acre-feet. That's a dramatic drop, and it's not enough to meet all the demands placed on it. Yet, legal agreements require us to deliver over 16 million acre-feet to states in Mexico, far more than nature now provides. We're locked into promises made during wetter times. We're overdrawing the river, like spending more money than we have in the bank. Every year the deficit grows, and the consequences become more severe. The old models and management plans, built on the assumption of a wetter climate, no longer work. The river is changing faster than anyone predicted, and our playbook is out of date. Rising temperatures mean water is warmer, snow melts earlier, and less of that precious meltwater actually reaches the river. More evaporates or is absorbed by the dry ground before it can flow downstream. Scientists are scrambling to understand this new reality, racing to collect data and update their forecasts as conditions shift beneath their feet. The system is shifting even faster than their worst-case scenarios predicted. Every year brings new records for low water and new challenges for those who depend on the river. The Colorado River's future is being rewritten before our eyes. The landscape is changing, and so must our approach to managing this vital resource. The question is, can we adapt quickly enough to avoid disaster? Communities, farmers, and leaders are searching for solutions, but time is running out. The stakes couldn't be higher. The river supports nearly 40 million people, countless farms, and unique ecosystems. Its fate will shape the future of the entire region. Let's take a closer look at how this crisis is affecting people, cities, and the way of life along the Colorado River. The story is just beginning. As the Colorado River continues to shrink, nearly 40 million people across the Southwest are facing new and sometimes harsh realities, like mandatory water restrictions that affect daily life. For many, this means shorter showers, brown lawns, and a constant awareness of every drop used. The river, once a symbol of abundance, now serves as a daily reminder of scarcity. Cities such as Las Vegas have responded by swapping traditional green lawns for water-wise desert landscaping, replacing grass with rocks, cacti, and native plants. Public fountains, once a hallmark of city centers, have been turned off or removed entirely to save every possible drop. These changes are visible everywhere, signaling a shift in how communities adapt to a drier future. Lower water levels in the river also mean less hydroelectric power generated from iconic sites like Hoover and Glen Canyon dams. This reduction in clean energy puts the region at risk for energy shortages and could lead to higher electricity bills for families and businesses alike. The ripple effects are felt far beyond the riverbanks. Recreation and tourism, once thriving industries along the river, are suffering too. Boat ramps now sit dry and unused, marinas are forced to move further out, and local businesses that depend on visitors are struggling to survive. The loss of water is not just an environmental crisis, it's an economic one as well. The shrinking river is shrinking economies and livelihoods, leaving business owners and workers uncertain about their future. Entire communities are feeling the strain as jobs disappear and storefronts sit empty. Water managers now face tough choices about who gets water and how much. Every allocation is scrutinized, and difficult decisions must be made to balance the needs of cities, farms, and the environment. Political and legal battles are heating up between states and cities as leaders debate how to share a dwindling resource. Tensions are rising, and the stakes have never been higher. For everyday people, the certainty of turning on the tap and having water is fading. Residents worry about the future, wondering if water will always be there when they need it. The big question looms: can the Southwest keep growing with less water? As cities expand into the desert, the challenge of sustaining growth with limited resources becomes more urgent. The Colorado River crisis is forcing a long overdue conversation about how we live in the desert. Communities are coming together to rethink water use, conservation, and the future of life in the Southwest. The future depends on how we respond now. Our choices today will shape the lives of millions tomorrow, making this a pivotal moment for the region. Next, let's look at the farmers on the front lines who are facing some of the toughest challenges yet. No one feels the river's decline more than farmers, who use up to 80% of its water. The Imperial Valley, America's winter salad bowl, relies almost entirely on the Colorado to grow our food. Even farmers with senior water rights now face unprecedented cuts, sometimes paid to leave fields unplanted. This means less food, lost jobs, and struggling rural economies. Farmers are switching to less thirsty crops and investing in efficient irrigation, but the pressure is immense. The central conflict: there's not enough water for both farms and cities. The fate of our food supply is tied to the river's health. The Colorado River crisis is an ecological disaster too. Its delta in Mexico, once a lush wetland, is now a cracked mudflat, devastating for birds and fish. Dams have changed the river's flow, blocking sediment and releasing cold, clear water that native fish can't survive in. As the river shrinks, remaining water grows saltier, harming crops, corroding pipes, and threatening aquatic life. Conservationists are trying to help, releasing experimental floods and sending small pulse flows to revive the delta. These efforts bring hope, but they're small fixes for a massive problem. The river is losing both quantity and quality. Nature's fate is tied to our choices. The environmental cost is real and growing. Can we restore balance before it's too late? The main culprit behind the river's decline? Climate change. The Southwest is hotter and drier than ever, and the Colorado gets 90% of its water from Rocky Mountain snow. Warmer winters mean more rain, less snow, and earlier melting, so less water reaches the river in summer. More water evaporates or is absorbed by parched soil and thirsty plants. Scientists call this aridification. The land itself is drying out. About a third of the river's flow decline since 2000 is due to higher temperatures. Even average snowfall now produces below-average runoff. The drought isn't just dry, it's hot, and it's here to stay. The climate is actively shrinking our most important water source. This new reality is what stuns scientists most. The challenge: adapt to a future with less water. Next, let's see how our own choices have made things worse. Climate change isn't the only problem. We've also overpromised the river's water. The 1922 Colorado River Compact was based on wet years, overestimating how much water the river could provide. We promised more water than the river can deliver, and now, after decades of drought, our savings in Lake Mead and Lake Powell are nearly gone. Meanwhile, the Southwest's population has exploded from 5 million to nearly 40 million. More people means more demand for water and power. Cities keep growing, but the river keeps shrinking. We've built an economy on faulty assumptions about water supply. Now, the structural deficit is impossible to ignore. Our choices have caught up with us. The crisis is about both climate and how we've managed the river. So, what are we doing about it? Facing this crisis, communities are taking action. Cities like Las Vegas pay residents to replace lawns with desert plants and recycle water for reuse. Farmers are adopting drip irrigation and drought-tolerant crops, sometimes paid to leave fields fallow. Desalination and better groundwater management are being explored, though they're expensive and complex. The most important change: collaboration. All 7 basin states, tribal nations, and Mexico are now negotiating new rules to share the pain and reduce water use. Scientists provide critical data to guide these tough decisions. It's a difficult, politically charged process, but absolutely necessary. Every drop counts, and every solution matters. The future of the river depends on what we do now. The Colorado River's future is uncertain but not hopeless. We know the old ways won't work. Now is the time for innovation and sacrifice. Cities must double down on conservation. Farms must keep improving efficiency. Everyone has a role: take shorter showers, fix leaks, choose water-wise plants, and support smart policies. The river has sustained life for millennia. It can keep doing so if we act now. This is our moment to build a new relationship with water, one of respect and responsibility. The challenge is huge, but so is our capacity for change. By working together, we can ensure the Colorado River keeps flowing for generations. The time to act is now. Let's get to it.